Hey friends, welcome back. So today we're going to be talking about 5 cover songs that were actually better, in my opinion, than the original songs they were covering. And I think most of you will agree with me. However, I've also included links to the original songs down below as well, and that way you can kind of listen to both and see which one you like more. Now, before we get started, today's song of the day is Surf's Up by the Beach Boys. And if you have a suggestion for a song of the day, post it in the comments down below, and you might see it in a future video. Alright, so let's dive in. Number 5, I Love Rock and Roll. Although this song was originally written by Alan Merrill and performed by his band, the Arrows, it's pretty clear by now that Joan Jett's cover of it is the version that everyone remembers. And it's also the one that we always seem to hear on the radio. So, while touring with her band, the Runaways, in the UK, Joan saw the Arrows perform this song on TV and must have known right then and there that she wanted to cover it. And after the release of her cover in 1982, it went on to take the #1 spot on the Billboard chart for 7 straight weeks. It was also certified platinum by the RIAA, and it was inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame. So basically, she took the source material and just knocked it out of the park. Number 4, Twist and Shout. Now here's another song that I could not believe was not written by the Beatles, because their cover of it was just so good. So the song was originally written by Phil Medley and Bert Burns and performed by the Top Notes, who were a rhythm and blues vocal group from the 1960s. But it was the Beatles' cover of the song on their very first album, Please Please Me, that went on to sell 1 million singles. In fact, it was the only cover of theirs that went on to sell that many copies, so they must have done something right. Also, as a side note, every time I hear this song, I think of Ferris Bueller's Day Off, because that scene was just so perfect. Number 3, Respect. If you thought this song was written by Aretha Franklin, you'd be dead wrong, because it was actually written by Otis Redding. 2 years before he wrote Sittin' on a Dock of the Bay, he wrote this classic song, which was then covered by Aretha in 1967. The song went on to become a massive commercial success, it won her 2 Grammy Awards, and it became basically her signature song. It's pretty much one of the best songs ever recorded by humans on this planet. And it's a cover. Number 2, Hurt. This song was pretty good when Trent Reznor of 9 Inch Nails wrote it, but it was Johnny Cash's cover of it and the music video that followed that really just blew people's minds. Cash was nearing the end of his life when he recorded it, and his singing just brought a depth to the song that simply wasn't there in the original. He made it much more profound and meaningful and very beautiful. And after watching the music video, even Trent Reznor himself admitted this by saying, quote, "That song isn't mine anymore." Number 1, I Will Always Love You. One of Whitney Houston's best and most memorable songs of all time is I Will Always Love You. But what a lot of people don't know is that it was actually a cover of a Dolly Parton song. Pretty crazy, right? I mean, it's such a classic, I was convinced that she must have written it. But sure enough, after I asked Google, I found the truth. So Dolly Parton wrote it and performed it first in 1973, and it was a success at that time, especially among the country music circles. But almost 2 decades later, when Whitney Houston recorded her cover on the soundtrack to the film The Bodyguard, that version became one of the best-selling songs of all time. It spent 14 weeks at #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart. The soundtrack sold 45 million copies worldwide, and to this day it holds the record for being the best-selling single by a woman in music history. So it's kind of the biggest cover that people don't know is a cover. Also, get this, since Dolly Parton wrote it, to this day, she still receives all of the song's royalties. So, she's definitely not complaining either. I should write a song. Now, what are your favorite covers? Let us know down in the video description below. And if you love music as much as I do, then smack this red subscribe button right here and hit the bell notifications so you won't miss out on the new videos. And most important of all, friends, have an awesome day and keep spinning that vinyl.